First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
And welcome back to Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to download the Fox 12 Oregon app, a great way to watch this show and everything that we do here. You can watch our past episodes and segments and everything else that goes on here at Fox 12 Oregon. I am live from the newsroom right now, but we are going to be playing my interview with one of the new judges for MasterChef, the new season dynamic duos. A different spin on it for this season. But of course, Gordon Ramsay is back alongside Tiffany Derry, one of the new judges for it. Now, Tiffany has also been a competitor on a number of different chef shows, cooking shows, what have you. If you are a fan of the genre, you have probably seen her before. And now stepping up to that judge role full-time for this season, I got to sit down and talk to her just about that juxtaposition of being on both sides of that and then also what to expect for this year. So pretty cool stuff. Thank you to Tiffany for joining us, and let's jump right into it.
Absolutely. I mean, you're right. I've done both sides. I have come on and been sort of a guest judge on MasterChef, and that has been great. But like to be a judge on MasterChef with Gordon and Joe is a whole nother thing. It was great. It was great to be able to mentor the dynamic duos and be able to really give my experience that I have to them. And I think they were great at receiving that, which was fun.
Do you have people just constantly in your everyday life asking you for advice? Because I'm just wondering, like, if I do you, like, I'd be like, okay, how am I screwing this up? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing?
No, I do have a lot. And I think, mentorship for me is so important in what I do on a normal day basis. Growing up in Beaumont, Texas, I didn't really see a lot of mentorship for me available. I didn't know the right people. I didn't know people in culinary. I didn't know women chefs, and I definitely didn't see them owning businesses. So I try really hard to make sure that folks can see me, one, and know that if you ever need a little bit of help, hopefully I can guide them along the way.
And just not ask you constantly and probably be annoying. That's what I would do.
Sometimes you got to get through it a little bit.
All right. Well, with this season, I mean, it's a unique take on this season as well. Could you let everybody know, how this actually works for this new MasterChef season?
Absolutely. So this is the first time ever that we're doing dynamic duos. That means that there's a pair cooking together. And this season starts off strong. It is pair against pair, going head-to-head cooking to grasp their spot on MasterChef. And I felt like I was in an arena. I was like, yeah, let's go. And so it was crazy energy to be in the building. And so it was definitely fun. That's different. And then you just have very different personalities, from husband and wives to divorcees to brothers and sisters to best friends. So lots of different dynamics there as well. So it's going to be a good one.
Would you, if you had a preference, would it be to just be by yourself creating a dish or working with somebody?
Probably before this season, I would have said by myself before. But after seeing this, I'm like, it's about picking the right person. Because if you can have a duo who maybe does something different than you do, or perhaps has better strength in certain things, whether that's baking and pastry, whether that's organization, whether that's plating, right? So just having someone that kind of is the yin to your yang, I think is important.
Yeah, finding that right dynamic, because otherwise I could see that probably could go poorly, I guess, depending on who it is.
Exactly.
Well, looking at things, from the mentorship side of things, and being so accomplished, do you have any general advice for people who are out there starting off, maybe, their first job as a cook or a chef, and looking, having these goals of getting bigger and bigger than that, but what would you recommend to somebody who's just like starting off in their career?
Just become really good at what you do. Meaning learn the fundamentals of cooking. I know there is a lot, you see us on TV and you see all the bloggers and Instagram folks going, and you kind of, want to get there. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you really need to learn the basics and the foundation of cooking. You need to be a strong cook You need to understand what a saute and a grill is and how to properly do that, how to run a business, right? If you want to grow within this industry, you really need to learn that. And even if you're not going to be a chef in a restaurant, let's say you're going to do catering or some type of personal things, you have to learn to do food costs and all of that. So that's important to make sure that you're profitable. So just get good at it first before trying to find any kind of fame or a name out of it.
That makes sense. Yeah. Make sure you know what you're doing before trying to take over Instagram on it.
Seriously, make sure you can cut before you show us how to cut on. That'll be great.
Well, Tiffany, for this season, and obviously it's going to be fantastic, as you just mentioned at the start off on it. But for people who are watching it at home, what would you like them to take away from this season at the end of it after watching all of this?
Ooh, I think it's going to be a roller coaster. I think it's a roller coaster of emotions for all of us. It's good because you fall in love with people, right? And sometimes those people don't make it. I think that when you look at the whole show as a whole, you're gonna be happy. You're gonna go through emotions, like I said. But I also think it's just gonna be so different with the duo aspect, and I think you're gonna get enthralled into their stories and their personalities, and hopefully you're gonna cook some of the food that they're cooking because it's good. I can tell you that it's good.
All right. Well, that's enough of a tease right there. I mean, that's kind of like a combo of a whole lot of things all into one show. Um, well, awesome. Well, Tiffany, thank you for having time to talk to us today too. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to the season and obviously watching you on there. It's going to be great. And yeah, thanks for having time to talk to us today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. So again, thank you to Tiffany and MasterChef for joining us there for that segment. That series premieres on Wednesday on Fox 12. So that's where you can watch that. Okay, coming up here throughout the afternoon, as I mentioned, we have a lot going on. We are going to be back at 2 p.m. live, so just taking a short break. And we'll be talking to Portland State University about their Center for Japanese Studies, a pretty renowned program right there. And they've got a bunch of actual seminars and things that you can attend free for the public. So we're going to talk to a professor from that center just about why that relationship between Portland and the Northwest and Japan is so important and so dynamic, and just also having these things available for free to check out. So again, that's coming up at 2 p.m. But if you're watching on the app or you're watching afterward, you can check out all of those segments, and please take a look through there because we cover a wide range of things. If you ever have an idea for a subject, feel free to send me an email, fox12now@kptv.com. That's fox12now@kptv.com. Send that in. We'll see if we can do something, or maybe you've seen a report on one of our other shows and you want to hear from that reporter or do a little bit of a deeper dive. We could do something like that too. So just wanted to get that out there for you to think about. But that's it for right now. We'll take a break. I'll talk to you soon. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.